Anger spreading through the human rights community over the latest UN-backed summit on the subject. The reason is that the venue is Saudi Arabia, which is notorious for dishing out violent judicial punishment. And there's a long list of why campaigners find the choice of the talk's location then to be preposterous.
Enough that the oppressive and fundamentalist Saudi monarchy was elected to sit on the UN Human Rights Council. But for top UN officials to visit Jeddah and smile is giving false international legitimacy to a regime that beheads people, systematically oppresses women, Christians and gays, and jails innocent bloggers.
One of the bloggers UN Watch refers to is Raif Badawi. His sentence of 1,000 lashes and a decade in jail has been described as barbaric and medieval, but it's been upheld by Saudi Arabia. Badawi is a renowned human rights campaigner in the country. He was arrested on allegations of insulting Islam back in 2012. Later, he was sentenced to jail and public floggings for, quote, undermining the regime and inciting public opinion. This leaked video, meantime, shows Badawi receiving his first whippings back in January, where he endured 50 of the 1,000 lashes he'll be subjected to. His friend Alish Bazamin admits that she is now losing hope.
The way Saudi Arabian government works is that every time there is a human rights issue, which Saudi Arabia has a whole list of, they would give in to the international pressure for the time being. And immediately after that, as soon as they'll see that everybody has fizzled out, like everything, the issue has calmed down a bit, they would go back to doing what they are known for. I don't know if I'm optimistic about it anymore. It's really, really heartbreaking. And I was feeling like crying the whole day yesterday because I don't know if we'll be able to free him. But this is something that we have to keep on campaigning.
More support for Raif's been pouring in on Twitter too. Some condemn Western powers for turning a blind eye to Badawi's plight. Others pointing out how disproportionate the reaction of the Saudi government has been to what the activists actually did. Raif's case has also made some feel grateful they weren't born in Saudi Arabia. Another case attracting the attention of rights defenders too is the plight of an openly gay former Saudi diplomat. Ali Ahmed Asseri is thought to be living in Los Angeles now, where he's been desperately seeking asylum in the United States. He says he'll be killed if he returns home. His initial asylum request was rejected, but Ali's appealing that decision, reiterating that he fears death in his native Saudi Arabia. We spoke to a friend of the former diplomat who says Riyadh exemplifies rights abuses.
Well, Saudi Arabia is an example of no human rights. So for the international community to have this summit without highlighting the massive abuse of human rights by the Saudi government is a huge mistake. The Western countries claim to supporting human rights. This shows that they are unfaithful to these claims, and this shows their hypocrisy and in fact their disregard to the people in the Arab countries. It's really an insult for the United Nations and Western governments to give Saudi Arabia a pass on human rights. The United Nations should stand and speak clearly on this issue and other human rights violations.
Saudi Arabia's legal practices have long been hammered with criticism. The death penalty is a well-used punishment for offences like blasphemy or treason. Adultery is punishable with 100 lashes. A robber could lose their hand in Saudi Arabia. And if you're caught drinking alcohol, then you're at the mercy of the judge.